Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully created our report management that means attendance report, that is attendance report view page, right? So now I want to select one of the employee name, and after that if you click as a date, and after that if you click as a search, then automatically it will be generate one of the PDF file. And with this PDF I want to display all that our attendance report. So if you want to do that work, so in our attendance report view page there have also I load two of this field. One is the employee name, there is a date, and there is our search, right? And after that search there is one of the form. So now I want to work in the form area. So into the form area, that will be one of the get method, because I want to get all the data, and there is a action will be needed, and here I want to create one of the route. And here also there have one of the target as a blank, that means it will be open with one of the new tab. And then there is our route, and there is a CSRF token. Perfect. So we have to create this route. I want to change that route. I name it as a report attendance get. Okay, so report attendance get, this type of one of the route I want to create. So if you want to do that work, we have to go to our web route, and into the web route that will be also one of the get method. I paste it. So first of all I want to update our name, that is our route name will be as a report attendance get. I copy it, that will be as a report attendance get. I want to use it as a report attendance and then the get. Okay, so that will be one of our URL. And in our attendance report controller I want to create one of the method as a attendance report get. So this type of one of the method I want to create in our attendance report controller. Now go to our attendance report controller. After this I name it as a public and then function, and then that will be as a attendance report get. Okay friend, and first of all here I want to get all the data. So make that sure you add that as a request, and then the $request. Okay, that will be as a request, and then the $request. So now I want to do here, first of all I take one of the variable. I take one of the variable as employee ID, employee underscore ID. So this employee ID will be our requested field name, that means the request, and from to the request I have passed one of the field. So that is actually one of the field. So that is our this field, right? There is actually the two. One is the employee name, another is the date. So here that is our requested field name. If you go to our view page, into the view page, here I name it as the employee ID. Okay, that means that is actually our requested employee ID. So I simply take it. And after that I want to put one of the condition. I want to put as a I want to make it as a and method. Okay, that is our this method and on here. And after this I take one of the if condition. Into the if condition area, if this employee, okay, that means if this employee ID, when it will be a not equal, that means a not equal null. If that is not empty, then I want to put one of the condition. I want to put one of the where condition. So I take that things with the where. Okay, where condition, and with the where condition area I make it as a empty array, because here I have to get that multiple data. So now that will be our employee ID. That means in our user table employee ID will be match with our this requested employee ID. So that will be our this employee ID. Okay, I simply add the things on here. And also there is another one as a date. So we have to also add that date. So I take another variable as a date, and then I add the date format or date format I want to do. I only want to get that by this month and the year. Okay, so if you select it any date, automatically it will be get that total month, not that a specific date. Okay, that means total monthly report I want to get rather than yearly report. So for that reason here I want to add that year. I only want to visible that year and then month. That will be the year, month, and then start to time, and into the start to time area I want to pass our request. So our requested field name, here into the view I have passed that name as a date, right? So now I simply updated our this requested field name. Okay friend, perfect. And after that I want to add that another same if condition. That means the if condition, if there have as a date, that means this date is not equal null, that means not equal empty. So right then I want to use one of the another where condition. Okay, so I put another where condition. So we did this type of work a lot of the time. I think at that point you should know about it. So that is actually our where condition. It is a where condition area. I want to put our database that is field name as a date. So this date means if you go, actually I make it clean. So that is actually employee ID, and also that is our ID. So this employee ID will be our this requested employee ID, and then another one as a date will be our this requested date. Okay, so here I simply put this condition, that is our employee ID. So this employee ID means database in our this table database, this employee ID. Okay, and that is our another date. So I simply put that as a date, and here for the date I want to use that as a one of the like. Okay, so that will be as a like method. So with this like method I want to use that our requested date. So I take that our requested date with this variable. So now with this variable I want to concrete with the percentage. Okay, so that is going to be as a percentage. Perfect. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So make that sure here we updated both of these, and after that I want to take one of the variable. Okay, here I take one of the variable for the single attendance. I name it as a single attendance. This type of one of the variable I simply take, and then our employee attendance. So that is our employee attendance table, because as I told you we have to get all the data from our this employee attendance table, and also I have used this employee attendance, right? So now we are able to use this employee attendance, and into the employee attendance if you go here, I have already created one of the relationship with our user table, and I just named that method name as a user. Okay, I have already created that relation. That means in our employee attendance table, this employee ID will be matched with our user table ID, right? If you go to our employee attendance table, you can see that is actually our employee ID. So this employee ID will be matched with our this user table, this ID. Okay, so that is the I have already created that relation. I want to pass that with our this relationship name, that means this method name. So I want to pass it with, and then into the with area what exactly we have to do, we have to pass that our this method name. So in our employee attendance, our method name as a user. So now I simply pass that as a user. Okay, so and after that I put one of the condition as a where condition will be our this where condition. That means here I have used two of this where condition, right? So now that will be our this where condition. I pass it, and after that I want to get this data. So here I simply get this data, and then that will be the same procedure that we have done before. Okay, so that is the same procedure I want to add. Like after this I put one of the if condition. Into the if condition area, if that this data, that means this single attendance is true. Okay, that means this equal as a true. So when it should be as a true, then it should be do some of the action, else it should be do another action. Okay, so that will be just like that same before. In previous video I have already discussed about that things, this type of one of the condition. First of all I want to get all that our data. Okay, so here I want to add one of the variable as a data, and I take that variable name as a all data. So I take that variable name as all data, and this all data will be what? This all data will be with our employee attendance table. Into the employee attendance table with, okay, with our user, that is our method name as a user. So with this user I want to put that condition that will be just same as a where will be our where condition. Where will be our this where condition, and then I want to get this data. Okay, so that will be as a get data, and first of all I want to check it, then everything will be very clear to you. So I want to check it with the DD, which type of data I actually get on particular that area. So I want to use that DD all data with the to array. Okay, to array. So that is our to array. Perfect. So now I want to check it fast. Like if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh. And now I select one of the employee as a test user, okay, and also I select one of the date. So this type one of the date. And now if you look at the search, yes, you can see, friend, it's now perfectly getting all that our zero index array data. So that is all the data is visible, and here you can see it's now showing as the employee ID. Is perfectly getting that employee ID, is perfectly getting the date and attendance status, okay, and also that is user details, because I have already passed all that our user details data with the user method. You can see every data is perfectly getting that things on here. Perfect. So now we can actually move to our next step. So right now I put that note for you, then that will be helpful. And after that I want to pass all that our count data. That means I want to count all that our absent, which employee is absent, which employee they have any leave, okay, and also I want to get that as a month wise every data. So for the reasons here I want to take some of the count function. If you want to do that work, better I take one of the another variable with the data. I take another variable as a absent. So here I want to count all this absent employee data, okay, and that means here with this employee and with this employee attendance, first of all I want to pass that with. So with this with I want to pass, everything will be very clear to you what exactly the things I want to do on here. I use that user, and with this user I pass that where condition will be just like that same. Okay, where condition will be just like that same, that will be as a where, okay, that is our where condition. And then I want to use it as another where condition, okay, I want to use another where condition. And into this where condition I want to use if you go to our this table, employee attendance table, and into the attendance status, right? So into this field, which you field is absent, okay, I want to get this absent all the data. So that is our field name as a attendance status. So that is our field name, attend underscore status, okay, that is our field name. And from to the field name which will be as a absent, that means which will be as a absent, I want to get this data. So I want to actually count this data, okay. So that is our absent, and first of all I get it, and then I want to count it, okay, I want to count it. Perfect. I hope, friend, it's very much clear to you. And also I want to do the same things. I want to count all that leave right now. I paste it. So here after this I want to get, I just name that variable as a leaves, okay, I name it as a leaves. And from our attendance status I want to count all that our absent, that means the leaves. So that means these leaves, I copy it, and then that will be the leaves. I hope, friend, it's not much hard for you, because from to the employee attendance I pass that our user details data, that is our employee details data, which employee as I want to check it, attendance status is leave, I want to get this all that leave, okay, and I just put as a count. And also I did the same things for the absent, okay. And after that I want to take that our month wise data, that means that is our month data. So I name that as a data, and here I take one of the variable as a month. I want to actually get this month, which month actually we are searching for. So I want to get this date, so that date will be as a date format. Here I want to visible as a month and the year, okay, month and then year wise data. So after that the same star to time, right, start to time, and start time will be what is that will be our this requested date. That means which things actually I pass it from here, okay. I only want to get this from here as a year, and then month and the year. So when I will run it, everything will be very clear to you. So that is our requested data, I simply take it. Perfect. And after that I want to load one of the PDF, okay. So if you want to load this PDF, I did this work in our mark sheet, into the mark sheet PDF. So that is actually the view page, right? So I want to go to the controller. So that is a report controller, that is our mark sheet controller. Here that is our notification. That is our year. So here I didn't load any PDF. So if you go to the profit controller, here I use it or not. Yeah, here I am actually using it. That is a profit controller. I am using that PDF. So right now I copy that PDF format. I copy it, and now right now we don't need this. I copy it, and now in our attendance report here, after this I simply add that PDF. So when you use that PDF, make that sure you use it. So that will be just like that same, that is use PDF. Okay, so now I want to use it. So here after this I use that PDF. Okay, so that is our PDF format. Here we already install that package, the PDF load view. Into the load view area, I want to create another page. So that will be in our same page. Okay, I copy it, and then here I paste it. So into the backend, into the report folder, in our attendance report folder, now I want to create another page as attendance report PDF. Okay, I name it as a PDF. So this type of another page I want to create, and I have already get all that our variable data, with our this data array. So hence I simply pass it in particular this page. So that is our attend report PDF we have to create in our attend report folder. That means that is our attend report folder. I want to create one of the new page, click as a save as, and name it as a attend report PDF blade .php. Okay, that will be our PDF page. Perfect. So friend, that's all we have to do. Okay, so if they have, that means this our single attendance as a true, then that will be work. Rather than I want to make it as a same option, else it will be show some of the another notification. Okay, else it will be show notification like it right now. That is our marks management and this notification. Okay, so I copy it. I copy this notification from our marksheet controller into the marksheet controller. Here you can see I have already did the same things. So I have already complete that part. If they have any data, right, if they have this, that is this single student as a true, then it will be work. Rather than it else, it will be show this notification, right? So before I have already checked it. So right now I also want to take it from our marksheet controller. Here, from here I paste it. Okay, so if they have any data, so perfectly it will be redirected to our this PDF page. Else it will be show that notification, sorry, this credential does not match. That means if they have no data, then it will be display this message. Okay, and else, and that is our AND method, and that is our last one. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So now if you click the save all, so now we have to design our this PDF page. That means our this PDF page. So how can design it and how can display all that your data. So here, from here I have already get all the data, and I also have checked it. So now I want to display all the data in our this PDF page, and here also we have to design this page. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.